With respect to Pratik sir, I met him in 2018. We were roommates and we became a family in Bangalore. So since the beginning of the academy, I was a part of this academy. I was guiding students here and now. I had visited Latur multiple times. So I'm seeing many fresh faces over here. I'm congratulating for choosing PIAS. So first, what can we discuss? So if you could give me an idea, I can tell you. So any doubt?
Starting phase.
Mine.
Of the studies.
Phase of the studies. Okay, fine. See, first, fixing the goal. That is very important. IAS. So that is the goal. That's why you are here. So next comes the planning. In planning phase, you have to figure out what are all the things which I have to do to crack this exam. So UPSC has given the syllabus. So you have to take the syllabus and you have to figure out what are all the things which I have to cover. So all those introduction part is given by Pratik sir. With respect to academics, I will be dealing right now. So take the UPSC syllabus. Okay. In that mains, GS1, essay, GS2, 3, 4 optional. Here comes prelims, GS and CSAT. Then finally the dream killer, interview. Okay, it is a very crucial stage. Okay, all these things you have to prepare. You have to pause each stage to achieve your dream. See, your dream is over here, IAS. You are here. See, in between you and your dream stands these things. So you have to figure out how to do these things. So many people has the notion that they have to prepare separately for prelims and separately for mains. So it is not the case. You have to prepare both of them all together. Okay. See, GS1 consists of papers like art and culture, history, geography, society. And in GS2, it consists of papers like polity, governance, international relations. Fine. GS3 consists of papers like economy, agriculture, security issues, disaster management. GS4 is altogether ethics. See, except ethics paper, all these three GS paper directly overlaps with the GS. If you are good at these three paper, GS is done over here. So this is how one part of the syllabus, one part of the examination overlaps with other part of the examination. The same questions will again be asked in interview as well. So very clear, very able to understand. This is the common framework, common layout. So when it comes to ethics, it is exclusively reserved for mains. They won't ask anything related to ethics in prelim stage. Okay. With respect to CSAT, they will deal with three things: arithmetic, logical reasoning, reading comprehension. These three things you have to take care to clear this paper. What is the cutoff for CSAT? It is not a qualifying paper no more. It is a paper of elimination. So UPSC stopped tightening in this paper. Now what they are doing is they started tightening in CSAT. So getting 66.66 had become very difficult. So even this year, many of you would have struggled in CSAT. The major reason is UPSC is using it as a secret weapon. So you have to make sure that you are acing this, you are crossing 67 marks. Okay. The thing is, these days, there are so many people who are able to clear GS with a decent amount of preparation. Anyone who has religiously prepared for 1 year, all these papers can be able to clear GS. But when it comes to CSAT, the people tend to ignore it like a second child syndrome. So what is second child syndrome? The first child is born. So parents were new, they tend to give over attention, they tend to feed them more, they tend to take care of them more. They got experienced. When it comes to the second child, They were already experienced. They know that we don't have to give this much attention. Let it be fine. Let it be. They can grow on their own. Then they tend to ignore the second child. Okay. So it goes for the CSAT. So never ever ignore CSAT. So once you clear prelims, prelims is nothing but a passport to or a ticket towards writing mains. Mains is the actual game where the real players will competing against you. So you have to make sure you are scoring exceptionally in these papers. Okay. See, all these papers, first 5 papers, starting from essay, GS 1, 2, 3, 4, are common to each and every one of you. When it comes to optional, picking an optional is as similar as picking a life partner. It is a life-changing decision. So it can make or break your career. So when it comes to picking an optional, you have to consider multiple factors. That optional, you have to able to complete it. You should have a thorough interest in the optional, and you have to be able to score in that option. You have to look into multiple parameters. You have to discuss with multiple people. You have to analyze the previous year trend. So which optional has fared better in the previous years? Which optional I should go and which optionals I shouldn't touch actually. See, all optionals are equally good. It depends on the person who is picking that optional. That matters most. So we play a huge role in helping you to pick the right optional. So we'll be having an one-on-one interview session with each and every one of you. So after deciding about your inclination and orientation towards some specific optional, we'll recommend you to pick an optional. So that optional you should able to complete. See, if you are able to get a 300 in optional, no one can stop you from getting into that final holy list. See, that is what is everyone's goals, right? So we will help you to achieve that. Fine. So once you clear mains, then comes the interview. Actual dream killer for most people. So I have given interview for 3 times. So this is my 3rd interview, where even I fared badly in interview. I got only 155. So which stood between me and my IAS dream. Okay, we'll help you with the interview. You don't have to worry about anything. So this is the basic outline with respect to the UPSC examination. So now you must be having a lot of queries, and with respect to strategies, time management, and which resource to follow, and which book to study, and how to balance between your personal life and your professional life, which is an UPSC, and how I manage the issues. So what are all the issues which I had counted, and you can ask one after the other. So I'll be answering everything, and I hope this session to be an interactive session. See, don't keep silent, because the more you post the questions, the more you have an opportunity to learn. Whatever I speak, it will be on air. But if you are asking me a question, I'll think about it and I'll try to give the best answer to the best of my knowledge. Okay, guys, go ahead, start. Good evening.
Speak to GS2. Recently, we have started preparing for mains, GS2 or test. So, we have our prelims notes. We have taken out from newspaper. Are those sufficient for writing answers? We have to get another notes. We have to get another notes for writing answers. For quality.
GS2 mains.
GS2 mains.
See, with respect to polity, Lakshmikant is sufficient, but it won't be the only source which will be sufficient, completely sufficient. For 80% of the needs, Lakshmikant will provide you. But there are 20% which you have to do some researches in the internet. You have to do some value addition. So only then you will be able to do GS2. And Pratik, don't mistake me. And there are many new students who are about to start the preparation. First, you must be having a lot of questions, and I'll be dealing with veterans later. First, you guys have to ask me the questions. So I'll try to clarify you as much as possible. So if you are feeling little bit uncomfortable, you can write your questions and you can give it to Nitin. He'll be providing it to me. So we'll be answering it one after the other. 1 second. Yeah. Normal. Ethics. So ethics is there is nothing you can prepare for ethics. So it is a very simple subject. So compared to other GS papers, it is a small subject, but it can be a game changer. So once if you could prepare well, you can get 130 in ethics, above 130. It can make you land in a very good service. So the thing is, With respect to ethics, there are roughly around 70 to 100 terminologies. Like you can say aptitude, ethics, values, integrity, transparency, accountability, probity. So like this, there are some 70 to 100 topics. You have to prepare those 70 to 100 topics with example, with the recent examples. You need to have multiple examples like examples from civil servant, examples from the NGOs, examples from the people from the eminent walks of life. You need to have examples from those areas. Apart from that, you have to prepare for case study, which will be for 120 marks. So that is very important part. So what you can do is use Google, internet. So in Harvard University, there was a lecture with respect to ethics. We can follow those things to do these things. So we'll be dealing with that extensively. Just now, I'm just giving an outline of it, how we are going to do. Then apart from that, we'll take the toppers copy. So I'll tell you my experience. 2023 mains, I got 95 in ethics. I think 97 in ethics. This 24, I got 118 in ethics. This 21 mark jump, it was basically from, I did a lot of researches. So I learned from toppers copy, I picked some strategies, and all these things helped me to get 21 mark extra. So you can even say that I cleared with 10 mark extra in cutoff. So this helped me clear in a way. So like this, we'll be guiding you in every aspect. You don't have to worry about anything. Okay, next question.
While preparing, you have some family issues we face.
Family issues.
We face some relationship. By studying, we know that some are things that are not in our hands. Still, we care about them. While studying, there's something that the issue come in our mind. We do not focus on studying. So, in your preparation also, you go 6, 7 years in preparation. You also face some issue. I want to know how you deal that issue.
With respect to family issues, I need to be very honest with you guys. You can never deal those issues. Even if you become the Cabinet Secretary of India, still you will be having the family issues. Okay, family issues will always be there. What we can do is, to the best, we should not allow those family issues to impact our preparation. So no matter whether you are fighting with your parents, you had economical issues, financial issues, emotional issues, or you are facing repetitive failure, doesn't matter. The one thing which is in your hand is what you are going to do in that one specific day. You may not having the efficiency to complete entire thing in one go, but you have to do it. That is the thing which is very important. The perseverance is the key. Doesn't matter whether you are having family issue, relationship issue, financial issue, or physical issue, or health issue, doesn't matter anything. See, I had health issue during my mains and interview, but it doesn't matter. I cannot make it as a reason. The thing is, you have to do it. That is the most important thing. Okay, I told you that no matter, even if you become the cabinet secretary or chief secretary, still you will be having the family issue. Still your daughter or son will be making some issues. They'll be getting into some or the other trouble. Still you will be having an issue with your partner. Something will be there. Those issues should be there. See, there cannot be a perfect life. The perfect life, it will be very boring. And one day we will, without any adventure or excitement, we will tend to commit suicide. So there should be issues. There should be challenges. Don't see them as an issues. See them as a challenges. See, those challenges, the more you try to solve those challenges, you'll grow further. Okay, that's it. Few things can be solved, few things cannot be solved. Those things which cannot be solved, let it be. It will go out on their own.
Another question.
Yeah.
Some day in after in month, in 31 days, in some day or 3 or 4 days, we cannot study. Other patient B.
No. Can you please go from the beginning?
I'm saying, if there are some day when you are do not study properly, as you planned, some day you not finish your goals, and that day affect your other upcoming day. So how to tackle that thing?
Do you have a this for writing the board? See, every topper in this country would have faced the same issue. See, no one is free from that low days or unproductive day. Everyone faces it. At least 50% of the days which you will be preparing, you will face that issue, and you cannot escape that. With years passed by, you have to read the same book. You have to go through the same materials again and again. You have to read the same news. The news may be different, but the content beyond your point, it will stop entertaining you. It will stop exciting you. So you will be facing those issues. What matters is one day, like, see, this is day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, 7 days in a week. First 3 days you are doing for 12 hours. Let's say it is very much needed, mandatory. At least minimum 10 hours is mandatory to clear this exam in the initial years. Okay. Next, again 12 hours. Next, 10 hours. Fourth day, you are not able to do properly. You are facing some issue, so you are doing only 6 hours. What matters is this 6 hours day or even 2 hours day will come in everyone's life. The thing which distinguishes topper and the person who are not able to clear, who is out of the rank, is this. So they won't allow this 2 hours day to spill into the other day. Next day, they'll make sure that they are doing 12 or 14 hours to compensate. Again here 14 hours or again here 12 hours. So this is what is important. If one day is getting spoiled, you should break the cycle then and there. You should not allow that thing to spill over into the next days. It should not create a domino effect. Okay, that is what is very much important. See, everyone will face, out of 7 days, minimum 2 days will go off in doing some other extracurricular activity, or not able to study, mood off or anything. It should not go beyond that. That is what is most important. You have to do the damage control. You are asking something.
Which mistakes you did in your past attempts, and you think that we should not do that?
My past attempt. So in my first attempt, I wasn't completely prepared with prelims. So I was doing in a random manner. I didn't had a mentor. So I downloaded a test series, a module, timetable, and started preparing accordingly. There is no one there to cross-check me. I was the only person who was doing the things, correcting the paper and doing things on my own. So that backfired a lot. Then I understood mentor is the one who is the most crucial part in your journey. So even with or without coaching, without coaching you can clear, but without mentor you cannot clear. That is very important. So these things, classes, you can read on your own, or else you can download it from the internet. These people are doing actually, but the mentor part, it is very important. Okay, so in my first attempt I learned this. Second attempt, I made sure that I filled the gap of mentor. I went to Bangalore. I got some few mentors. Every day I was writing the answer. I was just getting it evaluated from them. So once I got it evaluated from them, for 3 months I practiced rigorously. Every day 4 answers, 4 question and answers. So I used to book an appointment with my mentors. I used to go and give it to them. I used to evaluate it with them. So after getting a lot of feedbacks, this helped me in the second mains. So second attempt, I cleared prelims, mains. I went to interview. So there the big mistake which I did is, even after getting the mentor, the biggest mistake is I haven't practiced enough in answer writing just before the mains. I was giving undue importance to one subject, like my optional anthropology. In anthropology, I gave more importance to the paper 1. I neglected paper 2. So it costed me dearly. In paper 1, I had secured 147, which is one of the best score throughout India. That year, the maximum score was All India topper got 151, I think so. In paper 2, I got only 127. So I gave much attention towards the paper 1, and paper 2, I ignored completely. I just did only the books. I haven't written much. I haven't given much time to that. So I got only this much. This exactly goes for the prelims. So people will give more attention to the GS and they'll ignore CSAT. They'll get good score, but they won't be able to cross the cutoff in paper 2. So there we tend to get flunked. So like this happened in second attempt. Third attempt, it was a COVID time. So results came out. So I was not in a mood of giving the exam, but I don't want to take a break. I gave third attempt gone. Similarly, the next two attempt was like that. So I was losing the attempt by hardly 0.3 mark, 2 mark. So this was the case which was happening. So then I went and planned everything, and I made sure that I corrected all those mistakes. In 2023, I corrected them, and I tried to make sure that none of the mistakes which I had repeated in the past get spilled over here. So that attempt, again, I cleared prelims, mains, went to interview. I fared very badly in interview. So I got only 146, and even in mains, I haven't did well. I did badly in ethics and essay. So this time I made sure I'm doing well in ethics and essay. I did well in ethics, but essay, again, health issues, then gone. So all these things, whatever the mistakes I have did in the past, I tried to inculcate, and this helped me to get through it. So what you should do is, you don't have time to experiment like me. So you should take my experience and you should learn as fast as possible. The faster you evolve in this exam, the sooner you will clear this exam. That is the thing which is required. The slower you evolve, slower you learn, it will take time. That is the thing. So I hope my answers would have cleared your doubt.
During our preparation journey, some type of distractions come or any issues. So it is very common question for everyone. This many students face distractions. So how to overcome or avoid during our preparation?
There are many distractions, and digital distractions from the surrounding. So there are like many distractions. The same I said over here. See, one day distractions may come. It may eat up your 10 hours of your time, but that distractions you should not allow it to the next day. So if you are allowing it, if you are making it as a routine, anything practiced for 21 days becomes a habit. If you allow something to distract you for 21 days, like YouTube Reels, YouTube Shorts or Insta Reels, it will become your habit. For the next whole year or until you break that distraction, it will ruin your life. So that is the thing. The moment you identify it as a distraction, you have to cut it off. So identifying something as distraction is very important to escape from that distraction. Okay, got it. Yeah, ma'am.
They have to manage professional job around with this. So what strategies they have to apply for this? How to make a plan?
The professional job, I'll say that I'm not so much experienced in that, but I'll tell you to the best of my knowledge. See, supposedly we are working from 9 to 5 or 10 to 5. So only in this time we have to do our work. Whenever we get time, make sure that you are doing something in the mobile phone. The best example is one of my friend. He was working as an assistant engineer. So we both used to prepare together. So whenever he gets time, he takes his mobile phone. He downloads he goes to that. He goes to Insight's website, and every day he solves those question paper. Every day they'll be releasing around 5 current affair question and 5 static question. So in mobile only he used to solve. Many a times when we used to go out, he used to do that. Wherever, sometimes we go to hotel for eating. So he takes the phone. We both used to sit and solve. Like that, download all the materials into the mobile phone. So right now everything is in mobile phone. If you are going to complete an NCRT, whenever you get time, do it there. Apart from this time, when you come to the home, you have to do UPSC. You have to split the time between UPSC and there. People who are working, it is very difficult for them to achieve the 10 to 12 hours. See, I'm recommending this only for the people who are doing it in the full-time manner. But the people who are working, they have to give 6 hours. If they can give only 5 hours religiously, still they can make it. So that is very important. In these 5 hours, nothing should disturb you. Like it can be 2 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the night. So you have to balance between these things. So that is very important. And when it comes to less time, you have to plan accordingly. There is one saying in public administration paper, whether anyone who is doing with pub ad optional, No, I'll tell you. See, their work expense with the time. No matter, even if I give you, instead of 24 hours, if you are moving to some other planet, if you are gaining 40 hours in a day, still you'll do the same work over there. Doesn't matter. So, if you are having 12 hours, instead of 12 hours, if you are having 14 hours, still you will do the same work what you are doing in 6 hours. So, it doesn't matter. You have to wind up. You have to make sure that you are doing everything in a deadline. You cannot go with the natural flow. If you can do that, you can manage it. See, what I used to do is, before interview, I had very less time. In one day, I have to complete some 10 or 12 article. I have other works to do as well, mock interview and everything. I used to make sure those 10 articles are completed in 1 hour. So now what I should do is, I'll split 6 minutes for one topic. I used to do the ChatGPT, Perplexity app. You must be aware of that, right? So I used to do in that. I used to quickly go through the article. Then I used to try to rehearse myself. So after 6 minutes, I'll quit that article. I'll go to the next article. So by this, I'll be able to complete 10 articles in 1 hour. So like this, you have to have multiple deadlines. The more you reduce the time of your preparation, the more you have to have multiple deadlines. Those deadlines will help you clear. That is the thing. Yeah, ma'am.
On the day of your interview, how was your experience after that?
After interview.
After the interview.
My first interview, it was Manoj Soni sir's board. After coming out of the interview, I know that I have to come to this place again. Let me see it properly. In my second interview, I came out, I had a very mixed feeling. Some part of my brain is telling that the interview went well. Some part is telling me that it didn't went well. So then I knew that, okay, fine, whatever it is, let me. In the third interview, I wasn't well. After coming out, I felt that I have given my best, though the illness was there in the other side. And I was made to wait in the UPSC hall for around extra 1.5 hours. So my baggage and everything was collected there. They said you have to wait. So new batch is coming. I am the last one to go for the interview. Then I felt like, okay, fine, whatever the result is, let me accept it. I have made peace with myself. So this was my experience in the interview hall. Before going to interview hall, my first 2 interviews, I was super excited. The third interview, I was already ill. I was feeling like I just want to go and sit there for 40 minutes. I have to give my interview properly. It doesn't matter whether I'm giving exceptional answers or not. Let me, whatever it is, let it be. So I just went, sat, did the interview in 20 minutes or 30 minutes. So I came back. So this interview is very crucial. In mains, for getting 200 mark, you have to spend 6 hours. Okay, in an average. In interview, 30 minutes, you can get this 200 mark. If you are alert, attentive, if you are giving some good answers out of the box, by this way you will be able to get good marks. So right now we are planning to form a group with the group of selected officers who are not able to do well in interview, and we are going to do something in the future so that the people who are going for the next interview, they get some insight about the interview. They'll have at least a 20 or 30 mark boost. So whatever the input which we will be getting from my batchmates, I'll be sharing it with you guys with respect to interview and altogether all other subjects. So we have a rank up group in Labasna. So where people, if someone has got good scores in one paper, they'll be sharing their strategy with all of us. So when we can apply those strategy with minimum effort, we can get a maximum marks. So that is the principle of life. Minimum effort, maximum returns. Okay, there is a man called Perito. He's a medieval thinker. He says, if you are able to do 20% of the best work, you should get 80% of the result. The problem comes over is, we people, most of the times, due to uninformed decision making, we won't be able to identify this. What is the 20%? But the people who has already got exceptional scores in one paper, they know what is the 20%. Suppose today, if you ask me what is the 20% in GS2 or GS1, I can tell you. But if you ask me what is the 20% in GS3 paper, I struggle. So by doing the 20%, you can get 80% of the mark. Done. So this is how we have to do it actually. The next question.
Have you motivated yourself when you are demotivated?
Yeah, ma'am. Very good question. But I'll tell you. Beyond a point, motivation won't work. See, if we look for motivation every day to work, we won't be able to clear. In my initial attempts, I was looking for motivation from here and there. I was watching a few motivational videos from YouTube. I had downloaded a bunch of playlists. But after some point, it will get saturated and it will stop motivating you. When we face multiple failures, things stop motivating us. Then comes the role of discipline. Discipline is the most important thing. It is the game changer. In my experience, 2023, the results came. I failed. A day, I don't know the day. I think April 10th or something, results came in the afternoon. Next day, morning 7 o'clock, I was in library, started preparing for prelims. That is important. As soon as you face a failure, the more quicker you can recover, the more soon you can clear. See, I failed in interview in 2019. So this hangover was there for next 2 years for me. I wasn't doing well. I was making reasons and everything. Instead of recovering in 2 years, here I did in 1 day, 1 night. So if you can do like that, it can help you. So discipline is the most important thing. Whether you feel like doing it or not doing it, whether you feel like reading or not reading, whether you feel like coming to library or not coming to library, it doesn't matter. All that matters is you have to come, sit and prepare. Your efficiency may be down, but still you have to prepare. That is very, very important. So even you may feel like not writing the test, but still you have to write the test irrespective of the marks. That is important. The more faster you can learn and evolve in these things, the more sooner you can clear the exam.
So there is a saying, less is much in UPSC. Less is much.
Less is
The lesser
much.
you read, the more you can retain and then write in the paper.
Yeah.
So does that apply to our optional also?
Definitely, it applies everywhere. See, there was a Bruce Lee quote which says that I'm not afraid of the man who has practiced 1,000 types of punches. I am afraid of the man who has practiced one punch 1,000 times. So this exactly applies in UPSC. So if you are reading 10 books, you won't be able to reproduce in the exam. So it is of no use. But instead, if you are reading one book for 10 times, you can easily retain and reproduce in the exam. So that will fetch you more marks. The thing is, don't run behind the materials. Read only those materials which we are giving you. Those materials were time tested. Those materials, we are getting it from many of my friends who are already cleared, and we have a very close network with the officers who are already cleared, like Omkar sir. So do only those materials. Don't run behind the materials. And for one subject, you have to have only one material. Like if it is in polity, read Lakshmikant mandatory. Second, NCRT, 11th, 12th NCRT. So apart from that, don't do anything else. So if you are going for other sources like DD Basu, it is waste of time and it won't help you to fetch more marks. So I'll tell you that keep your sources limited, but revise them multiple times. On the day of exam, like whether it can be prelims or it can be mains, if you are having a short notes of some 20 to 30 pages, if you can revise them in the day of exam, like morning or afternoon, so you can reproduce it in the paper. That will fetch you more marks. So I have told you that in GS2, I can tell you what is the 20%. This is the 20%. I can tell you which area the maximum amount of questions comes. You need to analyze everything. You need to critically think. You need to see the question paper and link it with the syllabus. Once you start doing this, you can see the picture. Like it's like a number series. Like 3, 6, 9. What will be the next number? 12, obviously. See, when you analyze these 3 numbers, you will get to the future, next number. So similarly, if you can do the PYQs properly, you can predict to an extent, at least 80%, what will be asked in the future. This is the pattern. You have to decode this pattern. Once you decode this pattern, things will fall into its place. Your name will go into the rank list. Done. If you start preparing for mains after the prelims result. But there is one thing which you need to be clear: optional. See, if you have did your optional at least once, then it is achievable. If you haven't even touched your optional, if you haven't started anything, then you have to focus on optional right now. So I'm not going to make some fake promises that it is completely doable and everything. I'm not going to romanticize anything. I'm going to put the facts. I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to talk with the statistics. Here you should have did your optional at least once. If you did your optional at least once, there is a huge chance you can get through the mains. Okay, this is the thing. Even if you haven't did your optional, at least for mains we can do something and you can clear the mains. That is the thing, is you do PYQ properly. 10 years, minimum 10 years, do it properly. 80% of the questions repeats from PYQ. So if you can do that, you can get through the mains. So this is the thing. But if you want to score exceptionally well in mains, you must have completed your optional, not once, completed properly with the test series, or else at least with the very good amount of knowledge in your brain. So by doing this, even if you don't know much in other GS papers and essays, still we can manage, because you already cleared prelims. You have some amount of knowledge for clearing the prelims. Same knowledge is sufficient to get good marks in mains. But the only thing is, you should know how to write, how to structure your answer, what dimensions we should include and what dimensions we should exclude, and what are all the mistakes we shouldn't do. When we tend to do overdo things in the paper, then we won't get the marks. These things, if we can understand, we can get good marks. Yeah, you are asking something.
I'm asking about
CSAT, what do you want to know?
I'm not from mathematical background. I'm from art background.
Hmm.
And from my background, I dislike math. But here I need to do it. How you do that mathematical?
I'll tell you. Yesterday, I spoke to a girl. She was from Lady Shri Ram College. So I told her that CSAT must be very easy for you. So you guys must be knowing Lady Shri Ram College. She told me that maths is different from what they are asking in CSAT. And my other friend, his optional is mathematics. And once he wasn't able to clear CSAT, I asked him why. Because your optional is mathematics, you should have did exceptionally well in CSAT. The answer which he gave was, that is a different math and this is a different math. Thing is, CSAT has three components. It doesn't test your mathematical skill. It tests your common sense. It tests your logic. Even if you are from arts background, doesn't have any background about the mathematics, if you are having a strong logically connecting mind, logically thinking brain, you can make through the CSAT. It has three components: arithmetic, which is called quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning, then reading comprehension. Okay, see, this logical reasoning, every year 8 to 10 question comes. You should be able to attempt all. Using the common sense, you can solve this 8 to 10 questions. Here again, applying the common sense without using any formula, 60 to 70% of the question can be solved in arithmetic. RC, you guys all know. I don't have to say anything. See, if they are asking 27 questions, we can comfortably make 16 to 17 correct. So this is the thing. We can tell you how to make this thing. It is doable and easy. And these things also we can discuss. And here also I'll tell you. So there are few areas like time, speed and distance, average, then boats and streams, time and work, so number system. So every year at least 15 to 16 questions are asked from these areas. These areas are doable, but there are few areas like which are quite tough: permutation and combination, probability. Okay, you don't have to leave them all together. If they are asking 5 questions, make sure you at least attempt 2 questions, easy questions. If they are asking 5 questions, minimum 2 will be easy. So you attempt those things, attempt these things. Here 8 to 10, we can easily do 6 questions. Here 16. you'll comfortably cross the cutoff 80. So I wasn't doing this mapping. In 23, I got 66.666 mark exactly in CSAT and cleared with a very thin margin. So last year I didn't have time, so I did this mapping. I spoke with my friends who are consistently clearing in CSAT. I got 90, 24, only difference. So this mapping is very important. We have to identify which things we should do and which things we should not do. I had less time. Ma'am was asking, so how to balance between professional life and your personal life. Doesn't matter how much amount of time you have, you'll do the same work. Work expands with the time. So if I had more than 3 months or 4 months, I would have gone for this 23 pattern, doing everything, wasting time. I had very less time. I had only hardly 20 days or something. So I went for this mapping, did only selective topics like this. And in this, I focused on easy questions. It was like, if I was lucky, I'll get those 2 questions correct. If I'm not lucky, those are gone. Doesn't matter. But I should not make any mistakes over here, here and here. So like this, if we can map, we can do things.
You were mentioning about discipline. When you are disciplined, after a certain period of time, you become mechanical. At that time, what I personally feel, lack of human condition inside me.
Lack of?
Human condition inside me. How we can tackle that? I have other parts of the question. How we can emotionally recharge ourselves?
The first part of the question, I think Pratik Sir is the best person to answer. For me, it happens. Many a times, Sir used to guide me. And when it comes to second part, how to emotionally recharge ourselves, take a break. Doesn't matter. See, if you are completely exhausted, suppose like, see, for me, I couldn't clear in those 3 prelims. If I would have taken a proper break, if I would have did a proper planning, then my mind would have been clear, I would have did well. When you are emotionally exhausted, do the things which you love. See, for me, I love watching movies and web series. Okay, if you are loving to play tennis, swimming, do those things. That is very much important. So this cannot become the routine. You cannot do this every day. You can keep this once in a 15 days. You have to do these things. If you are not doing these things, then you will be completely exhausted. You will burn out. Like throughout the year, you will be reading. Just before the prelims or mains, you lose all your energy, vigor. Your health will fall ill. Everything will happen if you are not taking care of yourself. Emotionally taking care of yourself is very important in this exam. See, this exam is quite 50% knowledge and 50% about the mental resilience and the strength. The one with the mental resilience and strength, one day they will clear. Doesn't matter. So this is the thing.
My question is regarding note making. How to make notes and the pamphlets that we can use in answer writing.
Yeah.
How to do that? Because I am making the notes of sociology. Problem is that notes are making too bulky. So how to reduce that part and make a pamphlets on some topics which can be asked in examination.
In school, we used to do that first iteration, second iteration, third iteration in chemistry. Likewise, first time when you read a book, try to make your notes, you will copy the whole book into your notes format. You shouldn't do that. At least minimum 3 times reading is required before notes making. This is your first rough draft. Okay. After reading these notes, again 3 more times, you have to prepare the fair draft. A thinner notes. It should be 33% of the original, 1/3, 33.33% of the original notes. Okay. After reading this multiple times, for revising on the day of exam, you have to condense the entire notes into 20 to 30 pages. So you have to make sure that the content or facts or figures, statistics, data, committee, acts, recommendations, best models, whatever is given in this 20 to 30 pages, it should be in your paper. If you can make sure these things in GS, you can definitely cross 100, 110 easily. In optional, you can definitely cross 130 minimum, 135 easily doable. So this is what is required. So if you are reading some 10 books and if you go and sit in the exam and if you try to write everything, not possible, impossible, it won't happen. Okay, you have to make your own notes. You have to condense it to this level. But what can be best did is you can use the topper's notes in between so that you don't end up making a whole big notes. If you read only the topper's notes, you will understand only that point. That topper must have read some other source and they have made notes out of that some other notes. If they see their own notes, they can understand the background, but you won't be able to understand the background. That understanding of the background story is very important to reproduce in the exam. That is very important in this. So you can take the help of topper's note, but not only the topper's notes. The standard source, still you have to do it. After doing that only, you will be able to do it here. Then I think we should wind up the session. If you guys have any individual questions which you are feeling shy to ask in podium, you can directly approach me. I'll try to clarify it to the best of my knowledge. And thank you so much, guys. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you.